And we're live. We're so back. You guys might be wondering why we're not in the studio. Well, we're not in the studio because Sergio decided to up and leave me in Vegas by myself back to California so he could start raising a family. No, I don't know if he's actually raising the family, but maybe soon. But he moved back to California, and we're doing this virtually for the time being until I move back to California because I'll be back in about 21 days. So in the meantime, you guys have to deal with virtual. But audio quality should remain the same. That being said, on this episode of the Johnny and Sergio show, episode 20, what are we on, Sergio? 20,
27, I believe.
we stopped titling them. I don't know. We're deep in this. 26, 27, 28 maybe. We're going to talk about how we built our first cleaning company, Orange Window Cleaning, to $1.3 million in sales before we sold it. So let's jump right in. Where do you want to start?
I mean, dude, let's start with how we even came up with this freaking idea, right? Because basically, me and you skipped class one day and we hit the beach, we start talking, and you bring up this idea of starting a business. At the time, we were both in college. I was doing civil engineering and I had no interest in business. I didn't really know anything about it. So I said no at the beginning, but I was honestly tired of applying for minimum wage jobs and getting denied. So then I found Gary Vee, and he opened my eyes to entrepreneurship and business, and it gave me the drive, the motivation to like want to start a business with you. So that's where it all started.
Yeah, you got denied by Arby's, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know why I had to bring that one up. That's probably one of the most painful.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
just sad.
that was
That's
back
just
in high
sad.
school. That was when I was in high school still. But like after I graduated, tried McDonald's because I said why not. I would just like go into like different retail stores and try, but yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah, bro. All the
I
people.
think I was overqualified,
I
but
think all those employers missed out on a shit employee, anyways, because I
you're
seen how
not
you
wrong,
worked.
dude.
I seen how you.
I'm actually not a great employee just because once we started the business, I couldn't go back to like being an employee. So even when I did have like my engineering jobs, my internships, I wasn't the best employee, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
But
no, me neither. That's why I say that. It's not really a roast. It's a roast in a good way. Yeah,
yeah,
no, I mean we went to the beach, and you didn't even want to start the business though, dude. I was like, let's start a business, bro. You don't need a business degree. I thought you needed a business degree, and I think you thought that too. No.
I just never thought about it, dude. Never thought about like having an actual business. I don't know what
Uh,
goes into that.
Yeah, because I was working as a lifeguard and I had my fair share of turn downs too, which we never talk about. So like dude, my first job interview, I don't know if you know this. My first job interview was at a movie theater. At the Block actually in Orange, that big AMC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get interviewed by the manager who's awkward as hell. And I was also awkward. So then you put two awkward dudes together and it was just a very terrible interview. He's like, "So like what are you good at?" And I was like, "I don't know, nothing." I didn't have a good answer. Fumbled that one. Then I fumbled one with home goods. So I got turned down twice, and then before I got the job at Knott's Berry Farm. But anyhow, yeah,
Yeah, and
you
like
didn't even want to do it.
Knott's was just looking for anybody, right? They just needed bodies, so
They
that's
just
why
needed
you got
bodies.
hired.
Yeah, you
Makes
could
sense.
swim in the pool. If you could swim, you'd make it. And I was like, all right, bet.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, I wasn't even that great of a swimmer. I wasn't even a wave pool lifeguard. I was just a lazy river lifeguard because I couldn't qualify for wave pool. You had to be an actual good swimmer, and all like the swim team people
Wow.
were wave pool lifeguards. So
All right, so okay, we choose to start a business, and at this
wait,
point, we're
wait,
like,
wait, wait,
okay,
wait,
what
wait, wait.
business do we start? Right?
Wait, I want everybody to be. I want to be very clear with this, though. I bring this genius idea up to him about starting a business together, and he tells me he's not interested. That he wants to focus on civil engineering, and then you find Gary Vee, and then you're like, "Hey, dude, I listen to Gary Vee, bro. Let's start a business." And
Mm-hmm.
so we hit the drawing board. We were cooking in my room at my mom's house, and we come up with this bright idea to start a clothing brand. And then what?
Yeah, dude. Bentco. Um, okay, we choose to start it. We choose to start a clothing brand, and then I go to the drawing board. I'm like, okay, let's come up with some sick designs, put it on some T-shirts. We even contacted some like manufacturing companies that like give samples or something. So we got some sample shirts in the mail. Maybe we drop like $50 on that, and
Oh
we
yeah, I
come up with
forgot
this
about that.
logo.
I forgot we got
Well,
the shirts in the mail.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then we go to 99 Designs, which is a logo design company where like you put out your idea and then a bunch of people will make a design for you and you pick the winner and they win the $300 that we had to pay. So we pick a logo, spend $300, which is like most of the money in my checking account probably, and like I said, go to the drawing board. I'm like drawing freaking designs on a piece of paper. And then I hit a roadblock. I'm like, dude, how do I get this on like a on the screen? How do I get this on a shirt? I have no idea. And on top of that, dude, if you seen me and Johnny the way we dressed back in 2017, we had no business starting a clothing line, man.
No,
No
100%.
business. Unless we wanted it to you know, have a clothing line for people that don't know how to dress well. But yeah, just
It's
wasn't the
actually not
best
a
idea
bad
for
idea.
us.
That's not a bad idea right there, dude. Um, yeah, no. So we're like, okay, two days of
First
this
one,
bullshit. Back to the drawing
yeah,
board. I'm like, okay, we need to make money. That was the idea. Is like, let's just figure out how to make money. And you go, hey, why don't we go clean windows? And we both didn't know that window cleaning was an actual industry that people pay for, like houses and storefronts and high
hmm,
rises and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, you want to go clean windows at the gas station? You're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, because some homeless guy came up to you and offered to clean your windows, right? And you paid him $5.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
and
some quick cash right there. You know, we clean 20 cars a day. That's like $100 a day. That's easy money, bro. That's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's valid thought process, but then I say, dude, we're not gonna make no money standing at the gas station cleaning car windows.
Yeah,
Honestly, looking back, we probably would have made more money doing that as opposed to the route we ended up choosing, which was we looked up on YouTube window cleaning or looked up on Google window cleaning, found out it was an actual industry, found a guy named Keith Kalfas who I think he's in Michigan. He ran a landscaping company. He still does, and a window cleaning business. And he's making content about how he sold a bunch of storefront accounts in 48 hours cleaning windows. And so we decided to go with window cleaning, and we pitched $75 a piece for some basic window cleaning supplies off Amazon. And then we went and hit the ground running. We just started going door to door.
Okay, let me just interrupt real quick to tell you about Home Service Academy. It's the company Sergio and I run. Home Service Academy is essentially a business in the box where our team will actually roll up our sleeves and help you build a house cleaning business and run it completely remotely from anywhere in the world, from dirt to however big you actually want to take it. To date, we've helped over 1,500 people start and grow their existing house cleaning businesses all across the US and Canada. It's something we've gotten very, very good at. And if you've been looking to dip your toe into entrepreneurship, whether that's to go full-time in a business, to replace an income, or just build a side hustle that produces you an extra whatever amount of money you want to make on the side, on top of your current 9 to 5, then click the link in the bio and book a call with our team. It's completely free, and at the very least, you'll see what it looks like to actually run one of these businesses, the time commitments, the amount of money it costs to actually start, and every good and bad thing that can come with running one of these. So again, if that's something you're interested in, click the link in the bio, and let's get back to the pod.
yeah. I think the first one that we ever pitched was the funniest because this guy Keith basically said, "You're gonna go in, and if they say no, offer to do it for free, and then just like clean the windows." So we go into a liquor store, and the lady, she's basically like, "No, I don't want it done." And we're like, "We're just gonna do it for free anyways." At this point, we don't even know how to clean windows. Like we just looked up some YouTube videos and practiced on the back sliding door at Johnny's place. And dude, it takes for like her one or two windows on her liquor store. It took us like maybe like 30 minutes, right? Like just trying to figure out.
Took us a
We're
long
throwing
time, yeah.
vinegar up in that,
Ugh,
like some some soap.
ugh.
She tries tipping us $5 because she feels bad for us. We're like, no, keep it. We'll just be back next week to clean the windows. I don't think we ever went back, but it was just like dude, we were so naive. It was almost like a strength because like we didn't know anything about anything, and we're just willing to like be rejected. So I think the
Yeah.
hardest part is like starting because you're scared of that rejection, right? But I think
Yeah.
it did help. Like we were both doing it because it didn't feel like I was getting rejected. It was both of us.
Yeah. We
But
both
yeah,
ate shit. When we both got rejected, we both felt it. So it was easier to take the blow when you have your buddy with you. For
yeah,
sure. But then we went next door and we hit the donut shop, and then the donut shop was like, "Yeah, let's do it, but I'll only pay you if it's good." And we're like, "Okay, dope." And we start cleaning the windows, and then they're like, "It looks good, but we're gonna pay you in donuts." And it was like 2 p.m. or 1. It was in the afternoon, so those donuts were cold as hell. But she gave us some sandwiches, and we were hungry, so we got to eat. And we went back home, and then that next week, we just started pitching everyone, and we ended up getting our first accounts. Our first one was a dry cleaner, $12, took us an hour and a half. Then we went next door to the auto shop, got that one for 40. And I remember when we dished out that $40 price point, like I forgot which one of us said it, but we were shitting bricks on whether or not we should say 40.
yeah,
You remember that?
yeah,
Yeah. So I understand if you're just starting in business and you're scared to deliver a price that you think is too high, just say it. You just never know. Because we thought $40 was too high. And honestly, the guy didn't even need it. His windows were all thrashed from the welding that was done at the shop that was like flickering onto the windows. So he just wanted to see us win. And then we went next door to Omega Burger. This is all in the orange circle, and we got it for $50. And dude, we were lit, man. We were pulling in cash.
yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know about. It wasn't like a crazy amount of cash, but it was cool to like see a concept that we had come to life. Like we said, we wanted to build this business, and we're making money. Some, like just a little bit of money. But fast forward to the next week, and we got like rejected maybe 100 times. It was the most depressing week of the business. Not the whole business, but yeah, dude, it was tough going from getting a few jobs and being on that high to then the next week feeling like no one wanted to say yes to you. And I
Yeah,
I think about that a lot. I think if those weeks were flipped, the first week we got rejected that many times, we probably wouldn't be where we're at today. But because we got a few quick wins in the beginning, it like kept us going. Even though we got rejected a bunch of times, we still saw like it was possible to get jobs. So then we just from there just kept doing what we were doing, knocking on storefronts, saying, "Hey, do you have a window cleaner?" Like the worst sales pitch you could imagine. We
dude,
did that,
terrible.
and we still made money. So that's a testament to like just if you go out there and do the things that no one else is willing to do, you could build a business. You could make money. You could be successful.
Yeah, taking action regardless of like if you know how to do something perfectly or not is always going to be better than taking no action. So that's the lesson there. But yeah, I mean, we did that on and off for a while. We made like 5 grand maybe. Like I really to this day don't. I just say 5 grand. I don't really. It could be less, but like it's definitely not more than 5 grand. Like 5 grand is being very generous to how much money we made that first year.
hmm Yeah, and
And
we're
then
just doing it like, kind of on the side because we're doing like full time college,
yep,
right?
and we are getting financial aid, so that was helping us out. And then everything we made from the window cleaning business, which is gravy. But we started to reinvest back into the business, and I remember there's a big catalyst for us when we were still doing storefronts because we couldn't break into, we didn't know how to break into residential. And there's two big catalysts. Number one was we had no accounts. We were going pitching. We couldn't get more accounts. We had
hmm
one account on the books that week, and it was Anthony the tailor over there by the Vons on Lincoln. And we both didn't want to do it. We're like, dude, this is like $20. Like, we should just quit the business. This is stupid. And we are like, well, we told him anyway, so let's just go do it. So we end up going to do it, and we're cleaning the windows, and I'm just depressed cleaning the windows. We're finishing up, and this old like 6'5" dude walks in, and he's like, hey, do you guys clean house windows? And we're like, yeah. He's like, my window cleaner just died, and we're like, oh, no way. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you're joking, right? He's like, no, seriously, he just died. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I need a new window cleaner. And so We go, yeah, like, do you have pictures of the house? He's like, yeah, it's a McMansion. And he ends up showing us. House is gigantic. And we're like, yeah, we could do it. Like, let's go out and quote it. Well, we end up quoting that one and his other 4 mega mansions in the area. And we end up getting them for like 5 grand a quarter. You remember that?
Yeah, dude. That's huge for us.
Yeah. And so I remember getting that. And so that was really, really good because we ended up making that one. He pays us cash. So we pocket that and we're like, oh my gosh, dude, we're freaking rich. And so we pocket that. We wouldn't put the cash back in the business. We would, if we got paid cash, we would just split it and take it for ourselves. That was pretty cool. And then I remember we cold called some house cleaning companies because they didn't have window clean. They didn't do window cleaning. So we called the house cleaning companies. We're like, hey, we'll give you commission if you refer us any jobs. And they both wanted to meet us first before referring us business, which, okay, understandably so. We didn't have a reputation. So we go meet with them all dressed up in like nice outfits and shit. Fucking nerds, dude. Just nerds. And
At the time, we're
they,
also 19, 20, but we probably look 16 years old. So
yeah. Yeah, yeah. I didn't
we
even
had
have
that
braces yet.
going
My
for
teeth were
us.
all fucked up. Yeah, I wasn't doing my hair. So we pull up, we end up closing those 2 deals, and they start funneling us jobs, dude. And then one of them tells us, hey, you should probably get on Yelp because we get all of our business off of Yelp. And we're like, oh, okay. So make a Yelp account. And then all those jobs that they're sending us, we start asking them for reviews. And then as we're getting more reviews, we don't know this at the time, but we're building our reputation. It's helping a lot with our rankings. And then we continue to do that. And then what happens?
So okay, this is going into the summer, and Yelp. If you have a home service business, you know that Yelp is going to be on your ass. Like they're going to be calling you and telling you to spend money on their platform and advertise. And so they had been doing this for a while, calling Johnny's phone because your phone was the one that was on the Yelp account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've
Yep.
been blowing Johnny up, and he he finally gets through to Johnny, like the sales guy. And Johnny's like, "Dude, this sounds good. Like, I think we should try it." Had we tried Angie before this, or was it after this?
I think we tried it before, yeah. So we were
Yeah, dude.
jaded
And
a
we
little
so
bit.
we were kind of scarred from trying Angie leads or whatever it was called back then, because we paid like 200 or 300 bucks and maybe got like one job from it, and at that point we didn't have a lot of confidence in the online leads marketing space. So this guy convinces us, hey, spend a couple $100s on Yelp, see what happens. And so we did that, but I think what really helped was that we had already started getting Yelp reviews. So we already had an account that had, let's say, 25, 35 star reviews. So when we turn on the ads, Johnny's phone just starts ringing off the hook. And that's when we start making like serious money. Cause like, storefronts at $50 each was like cute. But like when we were doing houses, our average ticket, even all the way back then, when we weren't pricing correctly, was probably like $200. So you could imagine, like, if Johnny's phone is ringing, we're closing jobs, we're working all day. Like, dude, we were cleaning windows from freaking sun up to sundown, and it was
Dude,
a grind. But like at the same time, it was kind of fun, like just making all that money because it was new to us, like making that much money in window cleaning.
dude, I remember we quoting jobs at like $700 at one point, $800 when we started to add on other services too, like pressure washing
Yeah,
and gutter cleaning, and we would turn job like a window cleaning job into like a couple grand. There's one in Laguna Beach. I went out all the way out there and quoted from Yelp. That was ended up being a $4,000, like $4,400 a year job where we'd wash their whole house, clean all their windows, um, and it was just nuts, dude. And there was like, yeah, sun up to sundown. There's literally a job we got where we got there, quoted it. It was like interior only. They're like, oh, we want exterior too, and it was the Spurgeon building in Santa Ana, and it ends up being like, I think we quoted $800 maybe. I think $800 when, and we should have been way more than that, but we got
yeah.
rinsed. We ended up getting
No,
there at 8 in the
honestly, I
morning.
take I take full responsibility for that. That was my fault. I completely underbid that. It's really bad.
We got rinsed on it. We end up getting there at 8 in the morning. It end up having to stay till like 12, 1 in the morning. We have school. I have like an 8 a.m. class the next day. Phones are dead. Homeless people are walking around stealing our waters in the alley. We're like trying to get this job done. Finally get it done. We just drive. Don't know how to get home because we both our phones are dead, and we're just what is
Yeah.
going on, man? Like this is so ass. And I remember we got In and Out after. That was the best In and Out I ever had. And then yeah, we just kept grinding. We started hiring too. We started hiring our friends and family. My cousin Daniel, our friend Joe from college, my nephew Jason, our friend Creighton from high school. I mean, at one point, all of our friends from high school ended up working for us at one point or another.
Yeah, I think one point that I don't want to overlook, just being in the home service industry, like service is everything because it's not that difficult to clean a window, but the company that has the best customer service and makes you feel like you had the best experience is going to win. And early on, we learned that from that one cleaning company that told us have the best customer experience and just get as many 5-star reviews as possible. And that's what we did. We, like me and Johnny, I think we're just both nice guys. And so we would clean the windows, we'd be talking to the customers, and we would show up when we said we were going to show up. And it seems like very simple things that a lot of companies don't do, surprisingly. So, um, just by having good customer service, getting 5-star reviews, we started getting more referrals. And I think that's how our company started to grow like as fast as it did.
Yeah, I mean I wish there was like some more special sauce that we could give on like how we grew so quick from 2020 to 2021, but there really isn't. It's just getting reviews and doing a good job and upselling. We could have done so much more had we like reactivated our customers and done stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, eventually we built a team, and we got tons of reviews. We started installing software into the business like House Call Pro, so we can manage like our job bookings and assign them to different technicians. We got Nice Job, so we could grow our reviews faster, which helped us out a ton. Got us a ton of reviews on places like Google Business Profile, Yelp, and Facebook. And then we started to continue to hire, and then
We're also
going into
pumping the spend on Yelp.
yeah, pumping the spend on Yelp.
Like we
We
weren't
got
scared
to
to spend. I mean, at what? At some point, we were spending like 4,000 a month.
yeah, like 1,000 a week. We were pumping that, and then going into 2021, actually what really um, saw us grow was we were joining local networking groups, things like BNI and ours. The one that we were part of was Letip, Letip, and I would go meet up for breakfast every Wednesday morning at like 7 or 8 in the morning, super early before class, and I would go network with these other business owners in the city in Orange. There was a general contractor in there. There's a roofer, a carpet cleaner, a house cleaner, all types of um, different services in there where they're in front of people who need our service, right? And so they would start referring us business, but that wasn't what helped us out a lot. What helped us out was one day I show up and I'm sitting next to this insurance agent named Andy. Shout out Andy to this day for making the intro. Andy says he's a healthcare agent, healthcare insurance agent. He goes, "Hey, my client wants to move. He has a window cleaning business, and he wants to sell it." And so you're the first person I thought of. So I go, okay. We had just been consuming a ton of podcasts and reading books about how to buy businesses, and we had become friends with some guys who have bought and sold businesses, and so they're telling us, "Yeah, dude, you should do it. You should buy a business." And then this falls on our lap, and so we meet this guy named Kirk, or is it Kurt? No, Kirk. It was Kirk.
Kirk, yeah.
Yeah, and it's this old head who's been in the window cleaning business for decades, like run this business for 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
like same business. I'm like, damn, dude. And the thing about his business is he had commercial contracts with Biola University and Chapman University, which are two really big private universities in Orange County and LA. And I was like, damn, dude, it would be really cool if we can land these because there's no way we're going to get these because they're not going to switch from the company they've been using for 10, 20 years. And so we end up sorting out a deal with him. We end up buying this business for $1,000 that was doing about 250K a year. Now half that revenue was carpet cleaning, which we didn't really care about. We just wanted the window cleaning, and we ended up buying that. And we ended up landing Biola University in Chapman, and to this day we still service Biola University, which is like a $45,000 a year job. So we just basically bought ourselves into an extra 45K a year on top of all the residential we ended up getting that converted as well for only $1,000, and so that helped out a ton. Um, and then eventually we sold that business, but I don't know how much you want to go into detail
I mean,
on
dude,
that
I
period.
think the lesson in buying that business was that we didn't really know much about buying businesses besides like the podcast that we listened to or like the people that we knew that were doing it. But we just figured it out as we went. The other part was, dude, we did not have a ton of money to throw towards buying a business. So we were forced to do this creative financing thing where we only put $1,000 down. And it wasn't because we were some like hot shot business guys that were super negotiating, like savvy type dudes. Like we just didn't have $50,000 laying around. So like we're doing this more from like a place of like we don't have the resources to do it, so let's figure it out with the small amount of money that we do have to invest into this. So I think it was a win-win. It let us do a risk-free deal because in the worst case scenario, we wouldn't really lose much money, and then it also let him, like sell his business for something, whereas he was about to sell it for, or not, he was not going to be able to sell it. It was going to go like just to nothing. So,
Yeah, because he was the one doing all the work still, and he had employees who were like friends and stuff, and they weren't really on the payroll. They get paid cash, and like it was just all types of messed up. So we were able to finagle our way into a win-win deal. And yeah, the lesson is if you want something done, you can get it done. You just got to be a little creative.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, and then eventually we switched to contractors because we couldn't handle all the demand, and we had to switch everyone to contractors because we were getting rinsed by workers' comp and payroll tax and buying equipment, replacing equipment. And so that's what we did. We switched to contractors, and we started running the business with contractors. We stopped going into the field, continued to build our 5-star reputation, and eventually sold the business to Victor, who was an old employee of ours, and he still runs that business. Orange Window Cleaning should do, I think, $1 million this year, or at least close to. Um, and he still has Biola. He's crushing it. If you look up window cleaning Orange County, Orange Window Cleaning still to this day is outranking Yelp. It's number one, first page of Google, first page on the map pack. We've really built the premier window cleaning service in Orange County. And so if anyone in Orange County is listening to this and wants their windows cleaned, hit up Orange Window Cleaning because it's by far the best product, the best service out there as far as window cleaning goes. And it's really cool to see that business really live on. And it's cool because even when I talk to people from Orange County, they're like, "Oh, I've seen your trucks. I see your trucks." Or I'll get random Snapchats sometimes of like an orange window cleaning truck driving around, and it's pretty cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one thing that's I would say underrated that people don't really talk about is just when your business is in business for a couple of years, just over time, naturally it'll grow. Like people that use your service 3 years ago will refer you to like their friend 3 years later, which is pretty crazy. But like that organic compounding growth of a business, it's just there. So it's pretty cool that he's been able to grow the business to the point where it's like doing basically $1 million a year. Um, and I know he doesn't spend a ton of money on advertising. So I think we really
He
built
doesn't
like
even
a
have ads on.
that yeah, which is pretty crazy because if he did, he'd probably be making an extra 500K a year at least.
Yeah,
So
100%.
we built an asset, something that has been able to live on past us. Like now that we're out of the business, they're still servicing thousands of people in Orange County, which is it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I think if he continues to do it for a couple more years, he can start getting some private equity offers.
Yeah, but I mean, why did we decide to sell it?
Well, because we launched Home Service Academy and we ran up $50,000 in 2 weeks. I just talked
Yeah,
about this on a podcast actually, and it's funny because he's like, "Has anybody ever talked? You ever talk about the HSA story?" And I'm like, "I don't really like to talk about the HSA story because you lean into that whole stereotype of like, oh, you make your money off of courses, and it's like I want it to be about what we've done in home service, and but it's badass what we've done with HSA too, and we ended up running HSA up the first year to $2.8 million of revenue, 1.5 million of profit, because I was tweeting about uh, what we did with my mom and Mary and a mop in the house cleaning business, and also with the window cleaning business, and so that's why we were like, hey, this is obviously the better vehicle, at least so we thought at the time, and we decided to go all in on it and sell the business.
What do you mean by at the time? Like, what is that?
Because looking back, I don't know if I would have got rid of orange window cleaning.
Yeah.
Knowing what I know now and how things work with multiples of earnings and supply and demand and just predictability, orange window cleaning is a great business.
Yeah. You're not wrong. At the time, dude, we were only, not even we. It was like me. I was probably spending 5 hours a month on the business because we had, someone full time, like answering all the phones, managing all the jobs. So there wasn't like a ton of work that needed to be done. It was something that was there. Like we had to think about it on top of HSA. And it felt like HSA was going to be like the thing that took us to 10 million, like super quick. But like you said, looking back on it, I think we could have done both, just fine. So
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a point too where we were just running the window cleaning business for so long we kind of got bored.
yeah,
Um,
the shiny object syndrome for sure.
yeah, but I mean that's it. I mean, what else? What are we missing? We kind of ripped through the story, but for those of you that are listening who are longtime listeners, like you've heard the story a bajillion times probably, but looking back, there's just so many things that we miss, so many things you can pull away and lessons learned. But overall, I think the main key lesson is if you stick with something for a long time, even if you're dog shit at it, just staying in the game will provide lots of dividends for you. And most people
Yeah.
quit because this shit's hard, dude. I mean, dude, we had employees running into neighbors' vehicles, having to pay like $2,000 out of pocket to get a car fixed because she was going on vacation the next day. Just like annoying shit, dude. Just a bunch of headaches, and that's business. What I've come to learn is that's just business. You're gonna have headaches and problems, and no matter what you run.
Yeah, I mean, but just over time, you do end up being less dog shit because you learn from your mistakes, and you could do things better. Like Johnny said, we left hundreds and thousands of dollars on the table by not doing simple things like reactivating our customers that we've cleaned their windows before and just reaching out to them. Like we didn't do that. We were only getting new customers all the time, which is pretty crazy. We didn't have anybody on recurring, or most people were not on recurring services, which is, now looking back on it, super freaking stupid of us. But
Mm-hmm.
we learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, and by the time we sold, we had like I don't know how many customers in our database did we have? Buyers,
Around
people.
around 2000.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane to me. Insane. And there's so many more things we could have done. Like we could have, like, dude, we had a door to door team out there for a week and did 5 grand in a day. I remember we did $5,000 in a day.
And then we just stopped doing it.
We just stopped doing it. Like what? That makes no sense.
Hmm.
So there's so many other acquisition channels that we could have opened up that we just didn't.
Yeah. But the fact that you're listening to this right now means that you're probably doing better than what we were doing back then, because you're learning all these lessons that we had to learn the hard way, and you can just implement in your business today.
Yeah,
So shout out to you.
100%. I think it's a good place to wrap it.
Okay. Well, see you guys in the next one.
Well, and if you guys want to learn how to build a cleaning business and avoid all the mistakes that we spent 5 years going through, hit the link in the description below. Book a call with our team at the very least. I mean, they'll give you a blueprint on how to start one of these businesses. Anyways, it's free. You can literally talk to one of our teams who have all built businesses, cleaning businesses, home service businesses, whatever it is. And they can give you some insight into what it's like to actually build one of these and what it's like to work with us one-on-one to help you grow, help you scale, and help you get a business off the ground without all the downsides of having to go through a franchise process or pay tons of outrageous franchise fees in order to get started. And you keep all the profit. So book a call. It's free.
Well said, brother. See you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.
you.